MMA scraps is why most shows tap out then cry. We the ones like them out at the end of the bout with our hands to the
Travis McPherson here with 205-pounder Ryan Bader, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Up here doing a signing up in Seattle. So.
Well, listen, man. Obviously, you're coming off a real tough loss with Tito Ortiz. I know that was kind of a tough time for you. It was an opportunity for you to maybe retire a legend.
Yeah.
Didn't go your way. Talk a little bit about that fight and the time since that fight.
Yeah, you know, Tito's a tough competitor, you know, and I wasn't overlooking it at all. So went in there and, you know, he caught me with a good punch, and you know, woke up in a guillotine. I was done, and then that was it. You know, so you know, actually, you know, went back to the drawing board, changed some things in my camp and what I needed to work on, and it's really helped out a lot. Actually, so I don't know if I would have beat Tito if I would have made those changes at all, and later on I would have paid for it. So now I'm making those changes, and I'm going to come out looking a totally different fighter, and so it was for the better. You know, it's in the past. I got to just let it go. You know, it sucked, but what can you do? I got to look towards my next fight now.
Now, some people, you know, grow from a loss, and some people, you know, really take it to heart, and sometimes don't recover. What do you think is going to happen to you? Is this something that you've been able to really learn from, or do you think it's been on your mind ever since it happened?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had to change some things. Going back and looking at, you know, what went wrong in the last couple of fights and what I needed to change, what I needed to implement. You know, it's helped out a lot, and I have that. You know, I'm a competitor. I've been competing my whole life. Been in college wrestling where I've had my times when I've been, you know, down and coming back, and then finish out the season strong. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to come back. I got that fire burning now that I want to go out there and get wins and rack up a bunch of wins in a row. You know, and I have a fight coming up in November 19th, UFC 139. So, been training my butt off for that. I'm gonna, you know, I'm 8 weeks out on Monday. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. You know, starting a camp. So, it's gonna be a good one, and I can't wait to fight again. Can't wait to get back in there.
Jason Brilz is one of those guys that goes in there and tests you no matter who you are. He went in there against Nogueira and really put on a show. What do you think about this guy? What is he bringing that you have to be cognizant of?
He's a tough dude. You know, he's tough everywhere. His jiu-jitsu is great. You know, he's heavy-handed. He's a great wrestler. So, you know, wherever the fight goes, I know it's going to be a fight. When you step in the octagon with Brilz, you're going to be in a fight no matter what. And I respect his abilities a lot. And I'm training my butt off for him, and we're kind of similar in a lot of ways. And I look to just, you know, hone my skills in certain areas that I need work on, and that's what I'm doing. And you know, hopefully, the last couple of fights, you know, nobody's really seen what I'm capable of because, you know, the last one was real quick, and so I'm gonna get to show that in this fight and come out here with my new weapons and a new fighter.
Now, you know, looking forward at this fight, I mean, you at one point were one fight away from a title shot, and now you've taken a couple losses, and really, I mean, they were the first losses of your career. Has that been something that's been a weight lifted off your chest to kind of get those losses out of the way, or was it something that you had a hard time, you know, processing?
Not really. You know, it's definitely foreign when you've been winning, and you know, having those losses on your record. You definitely don't want to feel that, and it just gets that fire burning. I don't want to feel that again, so I want to go out there and win. There's nothing better than going out there and you know, the euphoric, you know, feeling after a win, and that's what I want to get to again here. So I'm taking it, you know, I took it in stride, and I'm going to be better for it. There wasn't any really pressure off. There's pressure every time I step in the octagon to fight. So I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Last time I talked to you after the John Jones fight, you mentioned that watching him win the title made it easier. Did watching Tito lose in that fashion make it any easier or harder?
I actually didn't see that fight. It's one of the fights I was gone on vacation, so it doesn't matter. You know, it is what it is. Rashad's a great, you know, fighter and one of the top guys out there fighting for the title next. So he's hard to go up. You know, anybody going up against him. So it really didn't matter. You know. I felt like I did some things wrong in the Tito fight, and that was it. You know, it doesn't really matter what he went on to do. You know, I just made a mistake in that fight, and I have to deal with it and move on.
Any predictions for San Jose in November?
I'm gonna get the W. You know, a couple of my buddies, Kyle Kingsbury, Tom Lawler, I think they're all come out with some wins, and those other fights, man, they're tough. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Kung Lee and Vanderlei fight now. That's going to be some fireworks. So, yeah, stay tuned, and I'm going to go out there and get back to my winning ways.
Ryan Bader, thank you.